What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Broadway Joel, the voice of Dominican boxing, and today we going to have a good interview with somebody who beat a Dominican fighter, Kenneth Sims. Kenneth Sims beat Elvis Rodriguez. He is a very talented 140 pounder, but he hasn't been able to capitalize off that win. Unfortunately, he hasn't gotten the right opportunities. To my knowledge, he hasn't been signed by one of these big time promoters. And yeah, so I want to have him on my show, ask him a few questions. Also, there was something with him and Bob Santos where Bob Santos was talking about how the sparring went with him and one of his fighters, Kevin Brown. And so we're gonna address that. We're gonna see how that fight, how those sparring sessions went, and get to the truth of it, because Bob Santos was alluding that Kevin Brown got the better of him, and Kenneth Sims went on to Twitter, said, he's lying that he dominated those sparring sessions. So I definitely want a little bit more answers, a little bit more clarity as to what happened in those sparring sessions, as well as, Kenneth Sims also threw a shot and said that he sparred Alberto Puello as well. And he was like, you know what? Ask him how those sparring sessions went. So, he's saying, ask him. Hey, listen, then that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna ask the questions that he's asking for people to ask him. So L Dub, what's going on, my brother? Shout out to you, L Dub Boxing, my man Bug. Shout out to you, my brother. Got about to interview my man Kenneth Sims, Chicago native. Uh yeah, Kenneth Sims, I was very disappointed as far as the fact that he hasn't gotten more opportunities. He put in a good performance in a close fight. It was a very close fight with him and Elvis Rodriguez. But he got the win, and he just seems like he hasn't been able to capitalize. If anything, I feel like Elvis got a bigger look against after the loss. After that loss, Elvis got a fight on the Canelo undercard against an undefeated fighter. And Kenneth Sims, I saw he fought another undefeated fighter. It was like on a Christmas card. I wouldn't say it was like on FS1 or something like that. Nothing of significance, nothing of note. And then he had another fight where for like one of those WBA regional titles, and he's currently ranked in the WBA at number 14, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check that. So I'm not like misquoting. He is ranked, 14 in the WBA. So it's definitely a player. He's definitely ranked. He's a contender. So that's something you definitely, when looking at these fighters and stuff like that, a lot of times you get the opportunities based off where you're ranked in the sanctioning body. And just being ranked, although low, is good enough. It's definitely enough incentive for a fighter to take a fight against you when you're ranked in one of the sanction bodies, and he is. And that he's done that without a promoter, which is impressive. And I also want to ask him how he got ranked and what was the process of going about that. And I also hear that he has a fight in December. So I want to ask him about that. Who's he fighting? Where is he fighting? When in December? All the specifics that we want to know. So we'll just wait until he hops on. Hopefully, he'll hop on soon and answer all these questions. But shout out to the chat, man. Everybody in the chat, everybody listening. I appreciate you guys hopping on and showing support to the channel. Hit that like button while we wait for my man Kenneth Sims to join us. If anything, let me see if I can hit him, because we had spoke yesterday about it. All right. L Dub with an insider scoop says, I'm thinking December 11th at the WBA convention in Orlando. That's what I've heard as well, but I haven't been able to confirm it. So what better way to confirm it than to have him on the channel himself and, just answer all the questions. Hold on one second. Let me see Boom. Let's see if I could get him to hop on, man, because yeah, we spoke yesterday, so he should, hop on. At least I hope so. You know. Oh, everybody hopping on. All right. Broadway, what's up? I wasn't feeling how Blair Clubs try. Oh yeah, when he tried half-heartedly accusing Virgil Ortiz of PED. You know what's funny? I actually didn't like, for whatever reason. I rewatched some of the interview yesterday, and I didn't catch it live. I caught that afterwards. I was like, oh, like I wish I would have caught that during the interview. A lot of times during the interview, you're thinking of questions you want to ask and follow-up questions, and you're trying to process what he said and doing all this. So a lot of times, as I'm thinking, I may miss something like that. But damn, you're right. I did want to ask him about that. I did want to, like, yo, well, what's up with that accusation of performance enhancing drugs? Also, does he have like information on that or something? But hold on one second. Oh, Kenneth Sims is responding to me. All right. Yeah, Kenneth Sims is about to hop on in a few seconds. He says just give him a minute. So shout out to him. He will be hopping on. I was a little worried because he wasn't responding, but he just hit me up and said that he is going to be on. Just give him a few seconds, and ain't nothing wrong with that, to be honest, none of the fighters I've ever interviewed have been on time. The only person who's been on time is Bob Santos, and he's not a fighter; he's a trainer. So, definitely not surprised. Not something I'm not used to. Not something I don't have experience with as far as waiting. So, we'll just hang on. He'll hop on probably like in 4 or 5 minutes and get the interview started. No disrespect to the fighters you interview, but some of what he was saying was for promotion, but there's some questionable things he was saying. Yeah, I mean, listen, man. Oh man, this is an insider joke. Out cold for 16 minutes. This is an inside joke. I won't say why, unless he wants me to say why. But yeah, that's an inside joke. I won't talk about it unless he says he wants me to talk about it. But nah, I get you. I try my best not to disrespect the fighters and try to let them say what they feel and let them control the interview to some extent. Obviously, this is my interview, my platform, so I try to. Oh, but enough about that. I got the man of the hour.
Yo,
Jim, what's going on, my brother? How you doing?
how you doing? How you doing? I'm good.
I'm doing good, man. So first I want to say thank you so much for giving me the interview. It's I'm very grateful for that.
I
And
appreciate
nah, yeah. So I want to hop right into to talk about the interview with Bob Santos. It looked like you had some choice words for it. Bob Santos
you. Yeah.
said on the Boxing Voice, and shout out to Nesta Gibbs in the Boxing Voice. He said to ask you about the sparring with Kevin Brown, how that went. So I'm a man of the people. If you tell me to ask somebody about something, I'm
Yeah.
gonna ask them. That hit you up immediately. How did that sparring session with Kevin Brown go?
I mean, it was an easy session for me. I was doing whatever I wanted. I mean, like I always been like I thought like talk about sparring, be respectful, blah blah blah. So like I ain't never said nothing about my sparring with him with Playo. So I'm just like, all right. When I saw that, I'm like, okay, why you doing that? Because the gym was packed when me and the dude sparred, and it wasn't like even like super competitive. I was like, his head was snapping back the whole time, all 8 rounds. Like, so I didn't even get what he was trying to get at when he was like, ask how that went. I'm like, okay, how it go?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, so basically, you dominated that the sparring
Yeah,
session.
that sparring was like
It was
I
easy
wasn't even
work.
yeah, even like my like Coach K, he wasn't there. And then one of my guys, my managers, Flick, he was in the corner with me. Albert Bell, he was there. And afterwards, we was on the phone with K. We was like, "Oh, that was light." Like, like they had, because they had been telling me that they wanted him to spar with me for like a week. Because I had just got out there, and they was like, "We want you to spar with him." Blah blah blah. So eventually, he was like, "All right, I sparred with him." Like he could fight, but he wasn't like nowhere near
Yeah,
up there with me. Like it was just like
yeah, I got you. It was just like a regular sparring session where you got the better of it, but nothing worth like talking about.
yeah, it wasn't even like
I got you.
I wasn't too impressed. He could fight, but it wasn't. It was just like
Uh, you also responded with saying like, how about we talk about the sparring sessions with Alberto Puello? Like, how
mhm,
did those sparring sessions go? Because Alberto Puello, to me, is a good fighter.
mhm.
I haven't seen Kevin Brown, so I can't comment, but definitely, Puello's a good fighter. How did those sparring sessions go?
I mean, I got so me and him spar about 4, 5, maybe 5 times. First time we was back and forth, cool. After that, I was getting the best of that. See, I wouldn't even never say nothing about that if Bob didn't get on the interview doing that bull that he did the other day. I'm like I don't talk about sparring. I'm trying to be like I always was taught like the rules of the game. You don't talk about sparring. It's sparring. Like I don't even put too much into it because I know a fight is completely different from sparring. So what I'm going around talking about sparring for, but I sparred with Puello about 4 or 5 times. It was after the first time, it just got easier and easier every time. So
Yeah. Not yeah, like you said, I've from what I understand, you don't talk about sparring because you may be working on your left hand, let's say, and
mhm.
whatever, maybe your left hand need work, which is why you're not doing as
I
good.
mean, and Coach K does have me do that when I'm sparring. Even when I was sparring with Puello, he was like in the corner. He'd tell me like something specific he wanted me to do.
Yeah, where like yeah, you can fight better, but yeah, this isn't a real fight.
Yeah.
This is practice. Like that's what sparring is for.
Mhm.
That's why I understand you don't talk about sparring because even if, like, for example, like Paul Spadafora got the better of Floyd
Yeah, I
Mayweather.
hear that story all the
Yeah,
time.
it's
But
like, all
like,
right,
so what?
is Paul Spadafora better than Floyd Mayweather? Like,
Yeah.
that again, getting to your point, I've heard the same thing that you don't talk about sparring. But I heard you had a signed contract to fight Alberto Puello.
No, I ain't
Who?
had no signed contract, but
Okay,
they my manager Kevin Smalls, he called me last week. He was like, so we had a date in December already. Anyway, I just didn't know exactly where or the exact date or the opponent. So last week he called me, he was like, they offered you to fight with this guy, Puello. So my manager, he wasn't there when me and him sparred, and he didn't even know that that was the guy that had the title. So I was like, "You for real?" He was like, "Yeah." He was like, "They already said yeah to the fight."
okay.
So I was like, and he was like, "I know you want it, but I ain't want to say yes without getting without confirming with you." So I was like, "Hell yeah, let's do it." So then something happened that the card it was supposed to be on might not happen, but they was like, they still saying that fight gonna happen. So I was like, "Cool, I'll still want it." Then he called me back like 2 days later, and he was like, "They said they didn't want to do it." So like I wasn't even gonna put that out until Bob got on the boxer voice talking.
But wait. So why didn't they want the fight afterwards?
I don't know.
You don't know? All
I
right,
have
yeah.
no idea. He
Yeah.
just told me they didn't want it, and he was like, "You still fighting, but we got to get an opponent because 12 they don't want it."
And you
And I'm
fighting
surprised in the first place that they said yes just based off us sparring.
okay. So you think he should know better than to offer you a fight based off y'all sparring
I
sessions?
mean, like I said, it's sparring, so maybe that's how they feel. Like it's
Yeah,
sparring, like it don't matter.
I see what you're saying. Uh I heard that you fighting in December, actually. I'm glad you just
Yeah,
mentioned that. in Orlando at the WBA convention. Am I right?
Nah,
Or no?
I don't even. I don't. They ain't gave me no confirmation. I know, but I don't know if I can talk about it yet. So I
Okay.
ain't.
Well, do you know the opponent?
Nah, I don't. I don't even know that yet.
Oh.
Cause
Well, you can
as
give me
of
a date. You don't have to give me it. Oh, he probably got a call.
last week, it was 12. So
Oh, all right, all right. Well, I'm almost curious as to where you stand at 140 because you got that big upset win against Elvis Rodriguez, and I'm thinking like, oh, like this kid just beat a hot because at the time Elvis was the hottest prospect in boxing, right? Yeah, I think that's fair to say.
yeah, I believe so. I think so.
Yeah, you beat him. It was a close fight, but you beat him, and it just kind of seems like I don't know, like you didn't really benefit from it. Like
I feel that way too.
it's weird because his next fight,
He was
Elvis's
on the
next
Canelo card.
on the
I was
Canelo card
pissed.
against an undefeated fighter, and like I don't know, your fight like was you fought an
FS1.
undefeated fighter, but it was like
Yeah,
on Christmas,
yeah, FS1.
FS1. I'm like, and I don't from what I and correct me if I'm wrong, no big promoter signed you. What happened?
I don't know. I was pissed. I felt like I'm like, okay. They was like he the prospect of the year, blah blah blah. Uh, I'm about to that this win gonna get me right back where I'm supposed to be. So, but then I felt like after he lost, it was just like, all right, he lost. Nah, just keep him. Let's keep him rolling.
Well, did any promoter approach you?
Mm. I mean, some people offered me fights with some of their guys, but the guys turned them down. So,
Okay.
but ain't nobody like really reach out to like try to
Who who
sign.
tur- who turned you down? Let's get these names. Who's ducking my
I mean,
man Kenneth
that one
Slade?
already public. They put it on when he was fighting on ESPN. Arthur Barboza
But
turned it down twice.
I actually was gonna ask you about that. So what makes you think you think he ducking you? You think he don't want that smoke?
I mean, I think he's trying to get paid. So
Okay.
like, look, I think he's trying to get paid. And the Puello thing, right? When Bob brought up that sparring, if he would have just like basically said the same thing Barboza said, I wouldn't have had a problem.
What Barboza say?
He just was like he trying to get a big fight. He in the position for a big fight. He want to get a big fight.
I see what you're saying. I see
So
what you're saying.
Bob bringing up that sparring for absolutely no reason and then lying about it is kind of what made me feel a type of way because I'm like, you could have just said the exact same thing because Puello, he got the belt. He can get a big fight. You could just say
Yeah.
that. You don't got to make up a lie about sparring.
No, I see what you're saying. I mean, although he was saying Kevin Brown
I
sparring,
know,
not the
but
fight.
like,
But is that camp? I see
yeah,
what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Were you ever approached for a rematch with Elvis?
yeah.
What happened with that?
Uh, well, honestly, all right. So basically, I try to be humble. I try to be respectful about everything, but at this point, okay, and I watch everything, like everything. I watch everything, like everything. So I watched your interview with his manager.
Okay.
I watched your interview with him. I watch like everything, anything, everything about boxing. I make sure I try to watch it.
I appreciate you getting my views up.
So I feel like that fight wasn't really that hard for me,
Okay.
and it didn't do nothing for me the first time. So what it's gonna do for me the second time? And like he lost, and y'all just like act like he ain't lose in the first place. So what I'm gonna get out of it?
I see what you're saying. So you're saying like it's not like I got this big buzz where I
Like
signed with a
and
promoter.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I feel like it's not like I went out there and got a lucky first round knockout. Like
Yeah.
I was winning that whole fight. I won the whole fight, and I seen his manager say he thought he won the fight. He thought he won the first 4 rounds, and you kept it real. I was just like, okay,
Yeah. Nah, I actually recently watched the fight. It was closer than I thought, but I still think you won. I still think you won.
yeah, I watched it. I don't know how
Yeah.
many times.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, it's fun. It's funny because I had spoke to his manager not long ago. He had mentioned that he was trying to make the rematch. I just wanted to ask you if it ever got to you, but I understand you looking at it like,
Yeah, it got to me. They was like, what we gotta
oh,
do?
get your hand off the mic. Get your hand off.
Oh, my bad, my bad.
You
They
good?
was like, what we gotta do to try to get that make that happen? I'm like, uh, y'all gotta pay me good, first of all, and y'all gotta tell me what I'm gonna get out of this. Like,
Like you gotta get a contract or something.
yeah, because I already beat him and it ain't do nothing for me. So you tell me exactly what I'm gonna get for beating him again.
That's fair.
Then
That's
when
fair.
I said that, they was like, well, we brought it up to him a couple weeks ago. They haven't even gotten back to us, so we don't know if you say yeah. We don't even know if it's gonna happen. Blah blah blah. So
His manager is actually watching right now, and he just commented punch stats. So basically, he's saying that the punch stats favored Elvis
oh
Rodriguez over
please,
you. Uh,
please. All right, you trying to hear
no, I
that?
just want I just wanted to he put his 2 cents in.
That's cool.
Uh, so I got introduced to you from that Showtime documentary. I wanted to know how did that get like introduced to you? How did that get offered to you? Why
Uh,
you out of all the people who box in Chicago and all that?
honestly, they were looking for like I was about 13 maybe, and they were just like coming around looking for father son duos in Chicago, and they just came to the gym. I came from school one day and I was walking to the gym and they was just like they got the strong accent. They was like, we want to do a documentary, blah blah blah. Because at first you seen it, right? So it
Yeah,
was two
I
of
saw
us.
it. I saw it.
So at first it was just like a little 10-minute, 15-minute short film on just me, and they like got a budget after a company seen that they was able to turn it into what it was.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like they had been around Chicago talking to other fighters that trained with their dad, and then they just ended up picking me.
Okay.
And then they added Destiny into it after they got a budget to.
You still keep in contact with
Mhm.
yeah?
Yeah, I see him all the time.
How's he doing? Because I know he got into some trouble and stuff like that.
Yeah, I
I don't know
talk
if
to
you
him
could
all the
comment
time.
on.
I see him all the time. He good.
All right, good. Is your dad still as hard on you as he was in that documentary? He was hard on you. I'm like, damn. I felt bad for you at some points. I'm like, damn, he hard on you.
Nah, he chill. I'm grown now, so he good. He chill. He's still with me. He's still helping me with this journey, but he good.
Nah, that's what's up, man. You definitely got a good father, man. I know he's tough on was tough on you, but I could tell he's definitely a good man. So it's good to see.
Yeah.
You still out in Chicago, or you moved to Vegas to live?
Nah, I live in Chicago, but like when I got a fight coming up, I'll go to Vegas for camp.
Cool,
Just
cool.
because I know it's better sparring out there, it's better training out there. So
For sure. I was out there in July, and like for boxing shit, I was on the
yeah,
boxing voice. I was moving around, and man, the sparring out there is.
yeah, it's a
I
lot.
live in New York. It's not nothing compared to how it is in Vegas. It's like people come from all over the world to spar out there. So I definitely agree with you.
Yeah, it's a bunch of sparring out there, and I love sparring. So
What
like
what
I
what
like sparring a lot of people to see like where I'm at.
what gym you usually train out
We
there?
be K have us all over. Honestly, we go to Top Rank, DLX, Bones. Sometimes like wherever we can find work, that's where we gonna go.
Okay, okay. Uh, so how dangerous is your area of Chicago? Because that's something like in the documentary they were trying to
Mm,
make it seem like it's really dangerous and
yeah,
this and that. How bad is that area specifically?
I mean, from the outside looking in, I would say is really bad. But for me, growing up around that my whole life, like I know it's not exaggerated, but to me in my head, I'd be like, it ain't even that bad, just because I'm around this all the time, so I don't really be like I hear. I know it ain't good, it ain't supposed to be that way, but I hear something like hear about a shooting or something, and it don't really like move me because I'm used to like just hearing that stuff, but I know like it's not normal. Like I'm from Inglewood in Chicago, and I ain't gonna say I'm desensitized to it because it's like if somebody like I know and it still bothers me, I'm like it ain't supposed to be like this way because you ain't supposed to just then people dying so young, but it's pretty bad.
Yeah. Nah, I'm the same way, man. Like, unfortunately, I'm from Brooklyn, so
Mhm.
unfortunately, I unless I know the person, if I hear somebody got shot, I'm like, damn. I mean, I'll
Yeah,
be like, damn, that's messed up.
yeah,
I'm
it's
not gonna
messed up,
laugh
but
about it.
like I don't. It's not a surprise hearing about a shooting because my whole life I've been hearing it, like hearing about shootings or hearing gunshots out the window. Like,
Yeah. You ever got involved in the street, whether it be drugs or guns or
nah,
knives, nothing?
I ain't want none of that.
Nah, that your pops wasn't having that.
You know, I wasn't into none of that. I ain't want to be into that either.
No, that's good. That's good. That's good. Me neither. Me neither. Uh, uh, there's not a lot of fights in Chicago, like for
No.
whatever reason. Is there a particular reason why that doesn't? Is boxing not popular over there?
Uh, I don't really know. Me and my fiance was just talking about that yesterday, actually, because we were riding past where they used to a place where they used to have fights at, and we was just like, they don't never have fights here no more. I don't really know why. I love to fight here. I haven't fought here since I was a kid. Like even in the amateurs when I became like a teenager, like 16, I stopped getting fights at home.
Man, yeah. I mean, to be honest, Chicago really hasn't produced a lot of champions
They haven't.
recently. Recently, historically, like if you go back to like the 60s, 50s,
Yeah, I
30s,
think the last male champion was maybe David Diaz.
damn, that was a minute ago.
Yeah, before he lost to Pacquiao.
But what is there? Is there a particular reason? There's not a lot of gyms out there.
There's a lot of gyms. I think no, I think a lot of guys like there's talent here too, but I don't think a lot of people take it seriously here.
Yeah,
Like they
I
take it seriously, but they don't like take it like seriously. Like
yeah, they're not gonna be like you flying out to Vegas to
yeah,
get the best sparring and
yeah.
running.
It's a limit to how far they willing to go to get what they need.
Yeah, I've noticed that the big cities like New York, Chicago, LA,
Mhm.
all three really like I want to say in the last 20 years, like we've had some fighters, but like in the last 20, 15 years, we haven't really produced a lot of talent. I don't know what's
Mhm.
going on in the big cities that's not happening. Like if you realize like a lot of dudes from like Texas or Ohio.
Yeah, then a lot of guys like in those big cities, I feel like it's just like a lot of they getting in trouble.
Yeah, right, which is unfortunate. Yeah. Um uh, how soon do you see yourself fighting for a world title?
I wish it was in December.
You wish it was against Puyo in December.
Yeah,
That's funny.
but I don't know because I know the position I'm in. It's gonna have to be like a forced thing. It's gonna be
Like a mandatory or
yeah.
something.
It's gonna have to be where they don't have a choice.
I saw you actually got yourself ranked with the WBA.
Yeah, they had me at 13.
Yeah, how did your manager pull that off? Because usually you kind of have to have a promoter or something like that to like you. I saw you won one of those regional belts and
Yeah, I don't know. They called me and told me I was fighting for it. So
all right, all right. Oh, I have Elvis manager saying we should fight. We both make a buck and change. We should run it back. Meaning like yeah, each make 120, 150 or something like that. I'm that's not an official offer, but that's something he's saying that for a rematch seems fair. What do you
mhm.
think of that?
I think, like I said before, what it's gonna do for me.
So one let's say 150 is not enough.
I don't know.
Okay.
I
All
gotta
right.
talk to my people. I don't know.
Hey, that's there you go, Benji. You gotta talk to his people about that. You gotta talk to his people. Uh all right. Then he active on the chat. He says no one wants to fight Sims. No one wants to fight Elvis. Why not rematch?
Like I said, you gotta talk to my people.
Benji, You got to talk to his peoples. He doesn't handle that part. He's a fighter. So Kevin Smalls.
Yeah.
Kevin Smalls is his manager. Hopefully, you guys can. Hey, I listen. I know you're not scared. I know Elvis is not scared. That's not like before people on the chat start talking about somebody.
Yeah, I know. I don't never think no fight is scared.
Yeah, no. I want
I
to
know.
clear that. I know for sure y'all both not scared. That's not. I'm trying to make the fight happen. I think it's a good fight. Obviously you want something out of it, whether it be money or a deal with PBC or whatever. Whatever it is. I can't tell you what you and your team should want or ask for at the negotiating table. Same thing with Elvis's team. Yeah, he's giving you love. He says he's a great fighter. He has all my respect. So,
oh, for sure.
He's not coming at
Appreciate
you. They just
Nah, I never thought that. I ain't like even with my interviews about Elvis before the fight when they was asking if I think he was like a hype job. I was like, nah, he knocking people out. He's supposed to have that hype. So
yeah. Nah, I honestly, and when you beat him, I never lost like oh nah, he wasn't as good as I thought he was. Like I just thought you put in a good performance. It was just like people are hesitant to give you credit. Like what was wrong with Elvis? I'm like, well, maybe Kenneth Sims just performed well. It could be that, and that's kind of what I thought happened. I thought you fought a good fight. I thought he could have been a little bit more active, but it didn't work out that way. And he proved in his next two fights that he's still who we thought he was.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, you haven't had the opportunity both on television or with the right opponents to prove that wasn't just a fluke win. Because even some of your losses and that draw with Montana Love, like let's be honest, you could be undefeated right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. You fought Montana Love in the amateurs, right?
Yeah, when we were kids. He was 14.
So I thought you guys were older, but I just found it so interesting. You guys fought so early in your career. I'm like two prospects like that.
Yeah, that was so. I had seen Montana in the gym about 2 weeks before we signed for that fight, and he was like, he had told me because we was kind of cool, like. We knew each other since we was kids. We fought each other when we was kids, but we was from the same region, so we would be on the team together when we was going to nationals. Mm-hmm. So I had seen it, but he was like, they called me to fight you. I told them, nah, that's my boy. Not yet. It's too early, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, okay, cool. They ain't going to bring that up to me. So they called me like a week and a half later, like, yo, we asked Montana to fight you. He already signed the contract. So I was like, oh, all right. It's whatever it is. I'm not scared, so okay.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny.
So that's how that happened so early.
Yeah, no, because I was like, I don't know, like I felt like it happened a little too early. Usually those fights, like it's okay to fight an undefeated fighter, but I don't know. I feel like you two prospects that were high
so
level.
that was just like he want to fight. All right, I thought we was like, but okay, let's go.
What do you make when people like these boxers like? Keyshawn Davis said he wouldn't fight Shakur because they're friends, and Mauricio Lara said he wouldn't fight Emmanuel Navarrete because they're friends. What do you make of that when people say
that? It's different for each circumstance. I think, like if you're really close with somebody, like a brother, like Shakur and Keyshawn, like brothers almost, like. So them fighting, I not fighting, I understand. Like,
okay. So it's certain situations. I got you.
Like if you just like y'all talk to each other every now and then whatever. But if you like talk to him every day, y'all around each other every day, like I get like I'm not fighting him.
I see what you're saying. Like y'all literally on the phone and going out and
like every day, like almost. So like
I see what you're saying. So Elvis's manager again says, I understand his position. We win a title, we give him the rematch and defend it against him. That's my word. Then we all have something to gain and something to prove. So
that sounds good.
He's saying as soon as Elvis wins a world title, I guess he didn't say his first defense, but he says that he will defend it against you. But let's get him to say his first defense. How about that? I want to see that fight. It was a good fight in the first fight. I want to see it again. Those are you guys are two fighters that I'm a fan of. I could be a fan of both. I'm a fan of both, so I definitely wanna see that fight. Hey, cutie. I actually want to open up the phone lines for people to call in to ask you a question. Is that cool?
Yeah.
All right, man. All right, guys. So I'm gonna put the link in the chat. Benji, you're more than welcome to call in if you want and have some dialogue. Obviously, both you guys have been respectful, so I don't expect them to get anywhere crazy. The link is in the chat, guys. If you guys want to call in, ask Kenneth Sims a question directly, whether it be something I missed or something you wanted to ask, or Benji, if you wanted to, talk about the Elvis fight with him and do something, you can also do that. You're welcome to. The link is in the chat. Anybody who wants to click the link and all right. All right, he says, nah, it's his time. Let him shine. I get it. That's what's up. I respect that. So he won't be calling in. But anybody else who wants to call in and ask a question, the link is in the chat. But what do you make of 140? 140 is stacked. Like it's a stacked division from Subriel Matias, Josh Taylor, Elvis Yu, Barboza, Regis, Zapata, Ramirez, Tio. It's a lot. Like, where do you see yourself in that in that that division?
I think I'm with the best of them. I just gotta get a chance to prove it. Like, I don't think it's too much that separates all them guys that you just said. Like anyone, it could, like, if they fight a bunch of times, it's gonna be like
A bunch of 50-50 fights.
Yeah.
I got you.
So
we have our first caller here, Ari Delomio. What's going on, my brother?
Delomio, how's it going, man? Hey, listen, man. Thank you for your time. I wanted to ask you: do you feel that given that you beat Elvis Rodriguez, it's become harder to get people to fight you because they might see you as, or not just them particular as fighter, but maybe their management, their team see you as like, high risk, low reward type?
Definitely. That you hit it on the head. That's exactly how I feel about it. It's like, before that, I probably could have got more fights if I lost. Like, so I think everybody just like, what we fighting them for, and we probably gonna lose, and it's not gonna do nothing for us.
If
it's the same position I feel.
Okay. If there were, let's say, 3 fights at 140 that you would like, what are 3 fighters that you would love to fight next? Like, if you could, if it was up to you.
Alberto Puello, Arnold Barboza, and I would have said Josh Taylor when he had all the belts.
Okay.
But probably Teofimo.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, because I mean, you did mention it in the interview because they were pretty. I mean, I was surprised that Top Rank not Top Rank. I was surprised that ESPN just put it out there that pretty much Barboza wanted no smoke with you. And I mean, listen, I respect his position. He's I'm in position for a title shot, and he's trying. I mean, he's trying to get a Teofimo fight. He was trying to get a Teofimo fight, which seems like Teofimo doesn't want any smoke with him. So it's very interesting, man. But I don't know if Broadway has any more callers. I could jump off. Or
yeah, I got another caller waiting. So
sounds good. I'll jump off. Thank you, Broadway. Thank you, man.
All right.
Good luck in your next fight, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. I have now Fernando here. Fernando, what's your question for Kenneth Sims?
So this is a unique situation. You have a talented fighter, but you see, when you say if you took the loss, you would have had more opportunities. Would they have tried to use you as a journeyman rather than trying to develop and further your career?
Yeah, for sure. Like me saying, if I lost, it's like I'd have been getting fights. Like, people would have been willing to fight me. Like, whereas right now, not too many people are willing to fight me at all. So that's all that was. Just like just an analogy of like how people would be acting if hypothetically, if I lost that fight. I feel like that fight probably scared a lot of people off. Because I feel like people knew that I was good, but I hadn't put it together before that. And now that I did put it together, and I'm keeping it together, like it's like we don't really know what we gonna get with him.
So, I mean, this is like an interesting situation because there's a lot of fighters that with the managing and the promotion, there's like an art and a science to it. So, in terms, so they ask you what your next couple of fights are, but career wise, aside from the fights that you want, in the team outside of the ring, what would you like to further your career?
Can you say that again?
So like I think the last caller, he asked you what's the next 3 fights you wanted, right?
Mm-hmm.
But my question to you is like outside of the ring, like as far as like managing, promotion, matchmaking, what would you like to help you further your career?
So I'm a boxer. So for me to help me further my career, all I need is opportunity with one of these top guys, and I'm gonna beat him, and that's gonna take care of everything.
So if you could be with any outfit right now, you're in the 140 weight division, would you lean more towards Top Rank because they seem to kind of have a lock on that, or you're open for anything?
Really, whatever is best for me, like the best opportunity. What's gonna give me the best opportunities to get to my main goal of being champion of the world.
There you go. All right. Anything else, Fernando?
Yeah, that was all. I don't want to take up too much of your time. Thank you, Kenny Sims.
Thank you.
All right, no problem. All right. If anybody else wants to call in, please do. I have no more callers, but so if you become world champion, let me not say if, when you become world champion, is bringing fights to Chicago a goal of yours, or is it kind of like
yeah, that's a big goal because like people like me coming up, I didn't really see. I mean, I seen a couple fights they had. What's the guy? The real tall heavyweight. Nicolay Value. He fought. I think Monty Barrett. It was here. I seen that fight, but it wasn't really like a lot of big fights here, like at all. Like,
no, not at all.
So like I know me coming up, I ain't really start seeing professional boxing until I was a professional boxer. Like I ain't really go to professional boxing shows until I was a professional boxer because there wasn't never none here. So I want to be able to so kids that box here, they'll be able to see it before they get turned professional and be fighting at the professional fight, so they'll see how it is. Maybe that'll help people like me when I first turned pro. It was like me and my dad was learning on the job. Like I ain't had nobody showing me no ropes. Nobody no other boxers in Chicago telling me like, yo, you should do this or this how it work or this person don't listen to this person or like listen to this person, watch this person or like I didn't know nothing. Me and my dad, we just learned everything as we went. So maybe that's something to do with like why my career was like kind of slow and stalled out. Like I didn't know what I was doing. So I feel like if I bring professional boxing to Chicago, maybe it'll help people with their journey.
And you think you could sell tickets? Like you have like people that'll show up and support?
Yeah, I think I can. Yeah. Like I fought in Indiana on like a club show. Like I had to sell tickets. I sold the most that anybody has on the card every time. But okay. I think I could do, and I know I could do better, more than that now.
Yeah, especially now you fought on TV already a handful of times, so for sure. I have another caller here. Clever, how you doing? What's your question for Kenneth Sims?
I'm good. Thank you, Broadway, for having me, and thank you, Kenneth, for coming on. But I've enjoyed this interview. I'll be quick. Kind of a couple questions here. My first question, I usually always ask professional boxers this, and you used a word that I really like to use in that question, which is separate. I usually ask you guys or gals, what separates you in such a competitive division? We probably mentioned some names there, and what I mean by that is like you got Tio up there now with some power. You got Jose Ramirez with some volume and tenacity. You have Regis up there, who's kind of a sharpshooter with some power. So what can Kenneth bring to the table and separate himself with?
I feel like my biggest thing is I'm smart when I'm in the ring. Like at the beginning of my career, I didn't really use it. I don't know why. I just went in there like fighting for like an idiot for some reason. But I'm really like I'm smart. Like I know what's going on in the ring at pretty much at all times, and I feel like that's what separates me, my IQ in the boxing ring.
Right on. And then secondly, my last one, what was that like filming the ringside? I realized that was for almost 10 years. So like,
Yeah.
what was that experience like?
At first, I mean, you could tell in it like I ain't really like talking. Like I was annoyed at first. I didn't want to talk to them. And then once I got a little older, I got used to it. But at first, I was just like, I wish they'd leave me alone. Like everywhere I was at, like they would just like pop up. Like they came to my high school one time. They didn't put that in the film, but they came to my school one time, and like I was just like, will y'all leave me alone? Because I didn't get it at the time. I was like 13, 14. So I was just like, all right, they just gonna follow me around and do what? Like,
How
because
did that?
I thought it was just gonna be like some on YouTube. Like, honestly.
Right. Okay, that was gonna ask. So like, did your father want to do that or
Nah, he asked me if I was cool with it. He ain't really like he wasn't like we about to do this. He was like, if you want to do it, we can do it. He ain't really care, but I was just bro. I was like, okay, we can do it.
And then lastly here, Broadway, should we expect to see you by the end of Q2 of next year?
Yeah, I got it. I should be fighting in December next month.
Oh, okay, even better.
So that should be getting announced soon. I don't really got all the details yet, but
yes, sir.
All right,
all right, brother. Good luck. Thank you, Broadway.
All right, thank you so much for the call. I have a surprise guest. I have a good friend of yours here, Elvis Rodriguez. I'm being dead serious. Elvis, de lo mío, tengo aquí Kenneth Sims, que le quería hacer una pregunta.
No, estoy aquí, tú sabes, porque mi manager me llamó, me dijo que ustedes estaban en vivo y eso, hablando de una futura pelea entre nosotros dos en una revancha. ¿Tú me entiendes?
Okay. He says that he hopped on because his manager called him saying that you and his manager were talking about possibly getting a rematch with him. So he wanted to hop on the call. You want to respond to that?
No, I don't know how to respond to that.
No. ¿Tú le quieres decir algo? Porque el manager tuyo estaba hablando diciendo que él quiere una revancha y entonces Kenneth Sims dijo, tú sabes que si el dinero está bien, que se puede dar la pelea, pero tiene que hablar con el manager de él. Entonces,
claro, exactamente. Y tú, o sea, tú has sido testigo que yo después de eso, después de la pelea con él, yo no me he detenido, yo he seguido para adelante, tú me entiendes, y cada vez estoy más fuerte, con más experiencia, y eso estaría jevísimo que yo y él más adelante hiciéramos una buena pelea, de nuevo, una revancha, una pelea más grande, quizá más grande que la que hicimos.
He says that that if you've seen him fight his fights after he's fought you, he's put on good performances, and that he thinks that a rematch with both of you and him it'll be a lot bigger than it was the first time. If you guys was to fight again, he says that it's something that he thinks it'll be good for both of you.
Yeah, I think so. Eventually, you gotta do something. Like I seen his manager on your interview with him. He was like, "Gotta mean something. We gotta be something online. Something. It gotta mean something."
Okay. Él dice que sí te luciste bien, pero que él vio la entrevista con tu manager conmigo y él dice que como que tiene que tener un significado por un título, por un eliminatoria, como algo así, tiene que tener un significado para la revancha.
Because I think he can fight. I think he's gonna be world champion. I think I'm gonna be world champion. So we gotta.
Él dice que él sabe que usted es un peleador bueno y que en el futuro usted sí va a ser campeón mundial. Y él también dice que él mismo también va a ser campeón mundial, que como que él no te ve como un peleador malo.
No, exactamente, exactamente. Estamos trabajando los dos, ¿tú me entiendes? Y es como te digo, sería jevísimo que más adelante nos juntemos y hagamos la revancha en una pelea, tú sabes, mucho más grande que la primera que hicimos y mucho mejor.
He says, of course. He goes, he's doing the hard work to get better. He goes, he knows you doing the hard work to get better as well. And that definitely next time you guys meet up is going to be a bigger and better fight for both of you guys.
Yeah, for sure.
And that it will mean something. Yeah.
Sure.
All right. So I'm trying to see what else I can ask you guys. Guys in the chat, any questions you want me to ask, whether it be Elvis or Kenneth, you just type in the chat and I'll ask away for you. Let me see. There's a question I'm asking both of you. Is the best fighter you fought Elvis or El mejor pelea? So I'll ask you: is the best fighter you fought was Elvis Rodriguez so far in your career, or was it Montana Love or Samuel Teal or all these other guys?
No, it's Elvis or Montana. It's one of them. I don't really.
Okay.
Honestly, I don't even remember that Montana fight that much because I try to it was on the internet and then I tried to watch it and it's gone. So I don't really.
Okay. Yo le pregunté si usted fue el peleador mejor que él ha peleado en su vida. Y él dijo que entre tú y Montana Love, pero él dice que como que de la pelea de Montana Love, como que él no se recuerda mucho, pero él cree que sí, que usted fue el peleador mejor que él peleado en su vida. Entonces, ahora te hago la pregunta a usted. ¿El mejor peleador que tú has peleado será Kenneth Sims?
Sí, creo que también el que con más experiencia, tú sabes, que creo que eso era en ese momento era lo que él mucho más me llevaba a mi experiencia, ¿tú me entiendes? Y yo creo que sí.
He says, yeah, that he does think you were the best fighter he fought, that he goes that you had a lot of experience and that was definitely one of the big advantages you came into the ring with, and you definitely use your experience. So yes, he does think that you're the best fighter he's ever fought. All right. Somebody is in the chat is asking a question for Elvis. Says, ask Elvis if he becomes world champion, would he give Sims a rematch as his first defense? Alguien en el chat está preguntando que si usted llega a ser campeón mundial, ¿será tu primera defensa contra Kenneth Sims?
Claro. O sea, estaría en primero en la lista para darle esa oportunidad y así nosotros aprovechar para echar la revancha.
Okay. He says, of course. He goes like, obviously, as long as everything is right, he's going to be one of the first on the list for me to make my first defense if I become champion. All right. How about you? Is that something you would do? If Elvis's name keeps coming up, would you give him a rematch if it makes sense, like financially, obviously, because this is a business at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
You become world champion, you're somebody you have history with. Would a first defense be against him?
Yeah, if it makes sense, why not? Like it's boxing, it's all about the business, and I mean, like I said, I don't think no fighter's scared of no other fighter. So, of course.
Él dice, yo le hice la misma pregunta. Él dice que si el dinero está como bien, que le van a pagar bien, que claro que sí, él te da la primera defensa a ti, que él no tiene problema con eso, que claro, es tu negocio y que el dinero está bien, pero él dice que él sabe que ni tú ni él tienen miedo, porque los dos son peleadores y él nos dice que los peleadores no le tienen miedo ninguno. Lo primero es el negocio.
Exactamente.
Yeah. He just says you're right. Like as far as nobody being scared. So somebody's asking, who do both fighters think of the WBC 140 matchup with Zepeda and Regis? So I'll let you answer first, Kenneth.
I spar Regis a lot, and I think that's a good fight. I think that's one of those, like I said, it ain't too much that separate the people at the top. I think that's one of those toss-up matchups. I think I'm gonna go with Regis, but Zepeda can win. It's a tough matchup.
Okay.
They got a lot of similarities.
Okay. Yo le hice la pregunta, la pelea contra Zepeda y Regis Prograis, quién gana. Y él dice que él cree, él ha hecho mucho sparring con Progress y que, tú sabes, una pelea de que cualquiera puede ganar, pero él cree que él favorece a Progress. Y te quiero hacer la misma pregunta. ¿Con quién tú crees quién tú crees que gana esa pelea? ¿Cepeda o Regis Progress?
No, exactamente, tú sabes, como él dice, una pelea bien parejita, tú me entiendes. Y Cepeda últimamente ha mejorado muchísimo. Yo recuerdo cuando yo llegué aquí la primera vez, yo hacía sparring con Cepeda y sparring con él como una 3 veces. Y de aquí a este tiempo ahora Cepeda ha mejorado muchísimo, tú me entiendes. Va a ser una pelea en verdad que la doy 50-50 porque cualquiera puede ganar. Los dos son pegadores, también son fuertes los dos, tú me entiendes.
Sí.
Es una pelea que puede ser que posiblemente ni termine.
Oh, okay. He says that he's done a lot of sparring with Cepeda when he first came to this country, and they sparred recently as well. And that since then, Cepeda has improved dramatically. But like Kenneth said, this is a 50-50 fight that anybody can win, and it could possibly end in a knockout. But all right, I think I'm not so sure. I wanted to. This was kind of unexpected. I didn't as far as having both of you on. So I'll kind of I'm gonna let Elvis go, and then I'll let you give your social medias and all that. Elvis, te voy a dejar, pero quieres dejar las redes para que la gente te sigan o cómo contactarte.
Sí, no, tú sabes mi Instagram, que ahí que yo me uso, @ElvisRodríguezBoss, que por ahí que yo siempre estoy publicando todo, lo que tiene que ver con mi entrenamiento y mi pelea. O sea, que me sigan ahí.
All right.
Digo, estamos, este año en verdad no he estado tan activo porque tuve un problema no sé si te había explicado con mi visa de trabajo, que había expirado y eso. Pero ya resolvimos, gracias a Dios, tú me entiendes, y estamos activos de nuevo.
¿Cuándo vuelve?
Estamos trabajando a ver si regresamos en diciembre. Estamos, equipo y yo estamos trabajando eso. Ojalá y posiblemente sí regresemos en diciembre y a principios del año que viene, si Dios lo permite.
Ok. Pues muchas gracias. Muchas gracias, Elvis.
Tato, gracias a ti, manito. Queden bien.
Okay, mi hermano. All right. All right. That was Elvis Rodriguez. Oh, so I'll just translate what he last said. He said that he thinks he's gonna fight next in December. He said that the reason he hasn't been that active this year is because he had a visa problem, but he sorted that out, and that that he's probably most likely gonna fight in this coming December. But all right, that was totally unexpected, so I don't want to make it seem like I threw that on you. As you saw, it was kind of like I know what to ask. Give out your social media, man, and anything else you want to promote. Go ahead. If you got a business or a t-shirt company or whatever you want to promote it, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah, every social media is Kenneth Sims Jr. My website is www.kennethsimsjr.com. Like everything is Kenneth Sims Jr. So you just look up Kenneth Sims Jr. and boom, it's gonna
you sell stuff on KennethSimsJr.com?
Yeah, we got it's t-shirts and stuff on there. Yeah.
Yo, go cop a t-shirt, man. Go, everybody on here. There's 21 people watching. If y'all a fan of Kenneth Sims, if y'all were impressed with that Elvis Rodriguez performance, buy a t-shirt. How much is a t-shirt?
$20.
$20, bro. $20. Stop being cheap. $20 ain't shit. Buy, support my man Kenneth Sims. So Ron Boy Fresh is asking, ask Sims who he think would be the toughest opponent at 140.
I'm not too sure because I ain't been in there with them, so I don't know. Like I really don't know. I really don't know because there's a lot of good fighters, and I can't think off the top of my head of who I think would give me the most challenge. So I don't know. I can't answer that question. I don't really know.
All right. This is the last question for me, and then I'll let you go. Is the energy going to be weird if and when you see Bob Santos out and around Vegas?
Nah, well, it might be. I don't know because
I'm just saying. You said he lied on you. If somebody, I know, not on some street shit. I know. I'm talking about like, is it gonna be weird? Like, bro, you lied on me on a show. Is it gonna
be? It might be at first because I don't like that. And I always thought, like I said, like, especially if the person you talk about get beat up. I thought sparring stayed like in the gym, especially if the dude you talk about got his ass whooped. So
Okay. That I mean, again, I wasn't there, so I don't know what's true. But if that is what you're saying
that's
is true,
true. He
that
got his
is weird.
ass
That
whooped
is weird. That
round
is
1
weird.
through 8.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like
weird. If you
150
work,
witnesses to that.
who was there? Who was there? Because if I have him on the show, I'm
That
gonna
you
ask
would know. That you would know.
that I would
Albert
know.
Bill, he was there.
Albert Bell. Okay.
Uh, uh. See, they trained together, so I ain't even. Adamas was there,
Adames. Okay.
but you know he trained with Bob, so he ain't gonna say that like
Yeah.
that. I don't know. You know, Javon Woodard. Oh, Nico Ali Walsh, he was there.
Nico Ali Wash. Okay. That's interesting. How good is Nico Ali Wash? Or is that
He getting a lot. He getting a lot better.
he did look a lot better in
He
his
getting a
last.
lot better since he been with us. Like I tell the truth. I told him. Because me and him like we close now. We cool. Like I talk to him almost every day. Like I told him when I first saw him on TV, I was mad because I thought he was trash and that they was just like giving him TV time. But I understood why. But I told him I didn't think he was good at all. Like I told him to his face, like maybe 2 or 3 times. Like when I seen him getting better, that's when I told him. Like I used to think he was garbage, but now he getting a lot better. He still got a lot to learn, but he listen, he want to learn, and he getting better. Like he ain't got a lot of amateur experience, so of course it's gonna take him a while. It's gonna be slow steps, but
Yeah, for sure.
He getting a lot better, and at first I didn't know that Nico was that young. He just turned 22, so I was like, yeah. So I was like,
Okay.
all right, you can do something. Like you getting better. And
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know he was that young. For what he got an old face, man.
yeah, he just turned 22 this year.
Yeah, he got an old face. I thought he was like 27.
He turned
28.
22 this summer in like June, maybe May.
I mean, he's with the right promoters in terms of matchmaking.
Yeah, so he getting better. He got a lot to learn, but he don't got a lot of.
So wait, he trains with you. He trains with
with Coach K.
With Coach K. Oh, so he got high level training.
Yeah, he trained with us now.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And he's fighting at 60, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what's up. That's what's up. All right, Kenneth Sims. If again, anything else you want to promote last minute before I let you go?
Nah, that's about it. Jr. Right now, I ain't really got nothing to promote right now. I mean, I guess they can go check out that documentary if they ain't seen it.
Yeah, go check out the documentary Ringside, right? That's the name of it?
Yeah, it's on Showtime.
It's on Showtime. If you have the Showtime app, just type in Ringside in the search engine. It'll show up Ringside. You'll see a young Kenneth Sims. It's a documentary about his come up in the boxing world, as well as another
Destiny Butler.
Destiny Butler, another boxer from Chicago as well. It's a very interesting documentary. And yo, bro, thank you so much for taking the time out, for coming on my show, answering my fans' questions, having that interaction with Elvis, talking to Elvis manager. Bro, anytime you want to come on my channel, whether it be to promote a fight or whatever, you know where to hit me. Just hit me up. Yo, I want to come on the show. I want to promote this, or I got something to talk about. I don't like what this person said. You're welcome to come on my channel, my brother.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Anytime, my man. All right, guys, that was Kenneth Sims. Everybody, hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. This is the type of content I'm bringing you. Shout out to Kenneth Sims, my guy. I'm gonna buy a shirt just because he came on the channel, man. I liked his energy, man. He came across as a genuine guy. Didn't duck no questions. Yeah, I know people be ducking questions. He ain't do that. He said and I understand his position as far as not wanting to give Elvis a rematch. Although I want an Elvis rematch. Don't get me wrong. I understand his position because his manager kind of said the same thing when he was on. He said, they wanted to mean something. Wanted to be for a title eliminator. They want it to be for a significant amount of money. Listen, these people fight for money. Yeah, they fight for belts, but mostly for money, which is fine. I understand. Everybody got to get paid. And this conversation was good. He was on the chat. He gave his manager's information, Kevin Smalls, I believe it was. And his manager's gonna, I hope, contact them and make it happen. I'm looking forward to it. Again, if you haven't hit that like or subscribe button, please do. Helps me out with the algorithm. And as well as I will keep bringing you guys this type of content. So again, that's my show for tonight. I'll be on tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern, but it will be a Spanish show. So for my English speaking followers, I'm sorry. It will only be in Spanish. Yes, it's called Spanish Sábado, meaning Spanish Saturday. So I appreciate you guys. Oh, wait. Hold on. Elvis just heard about the Blair comments. He wants to set up an interview to talk about it, or he'll call you back now. Benji, we'll set up an interview with Elvis. I actually got to go now, but for sure, you got my number. We'll set up an interview and we'll make it happen where he could defend himself because Blair Cobb said he was sparring and put hands on him and all that. So we'll set it up for sure. But all right, guys, until next time, peace.